All right, cue the lights. We got an official statement. So the PGA Tour is going with March is going to be major as their tagline. They want to make the players a major because they own the players. It's a PGA Tour event. They don't own the other four majors. It's one of the interesting things in our sport. When I explain people, people would ask a lot during the whole live conversation, explain to me the majors. Well, imagine if like the NFL didn't own the Super Bowl and there were also 3 other Super Bowls and the NFL didn't own those either. So it makes sense that the PGA Tour wants to do this. And I saw a lot of people saying, well, who decides what a major is? Is there like an actual board or a body? The answer is no one really. So before the 1960s, the majors included the US and the British Amateur. And Arnold Palmer kind of started it with the help of a scribe, Herbert Warren Wind, who started talking about the Grand Slam. He still needed to win the PGA, and one other one he said, I want my Grand Slam of my own. So I get why the PGA Tour is doing this. They're like, there's no rules. Let's make this thing a major. So here are my thoughts on the matter. The Players is already above every other non-major. When you assess a player's career, you talk about how many majors and then how many players they won. Now, I disagree with Brandel Chambly that it's already a major and the best one and the hardest to win. And I disagree with Eamon Lynch that the Players should go international because TPC Sawgrass is part of the appeal of the Players. It's an iconic course in a real hub of golf. Now, I'm not opposed to the Players being a major, but 3 things absolutely have to happen. It's a non-negotiable if these 3 things don't happen. Number 1, they need to invite the top live players. It would be such a flex, too, to be like, yeah, we've got one and we'll just take your best guys for that. Like, you can't have a major without Jon Rahm or Bryson DeChambeau. You just can't. And the reason the majors didn't ban live players is because they know if you want to win one of the big ones, you need to beat the best players. So the first thing is they'd have to invite the best player. It can't just be PGA Tour players. You got to invite the best live players. You got to invite the best DP World Tour players. Number 2, we cannot retroactively give out majors. We can't say, oh, the Players is a major, so now, Cameron Smith has 2 major championships. That you have to know that you're trying to win a major while you're playing down the stretch. That is the pressure of it. Like, that's a key part of it. And number 3, the PGA Championship, or one of the other majors, has to go international. 4 out of 5 majors in the U.S. is too much. It's too U.S.-centric. I know, it's the PGA of America, but there are PGAs in other countries. There's, PGA of Great Britain and Ireland, PGA of Australia. So if the PGA Championship moved around or was in, say, Australia, I'd be much more open to this conversation. Now, the Players has all the tools. It has the iconic golf course. It has the electric on-site feel. We've been there. It's an amazing tournament. It's got huge money. It already does have a lot of cachet. But for me, those 3 things, invite non-PGA Tour players, no retroactively giving out majors, and one of the majors has to then go outside of the United States. Those are musts. Your thoughts, Ben?
I agree with every single one of your musts. Like, that stuff has to happen. You have to have the best players in the world there. You can't give people who didn't think they were playing for a major. I think there's one thing that we all need to agree on if this is going to be a thing. And I think that's actually part of it, is that we all have to agree on it. If there's no official...
Well, that's why they're doing the marketing push, is because, people like us, people like, other podcasts, like, that's part of it.
Right? We all kind of have to agree on the discourse post-decision. Because what this is going to do is bifurcate the discussion. They're going to be half of a camp that's like, I'm never going to acknowledge it as a major, and I'm only going to say that you won one of these 4, right? And then there's the camp that's going to embrace it. And I find myself in that latter camp because, much like our former president once said, it grows the economy. Yeah. It hurts nobody.
It's good for everybody.
It helps everyone.
It's good for the economy.
We just all have to know that the conversations are going to have caveats in them.
Yeah.
There are going to be people that will not have that conversation.
It's going to be messy.
Without It's going to be messy.
Yeah.
We just have to know that this is going to be messy. And I think that if we can all agree that there needs to be some sort of caveat, even if you support the Players Championship as a major, you have to caveat that, because we're going to be comparing guys from decades ago that didn't have this chance to
but it's already in a weird mix, because like when you compare, we had Alex Myers on the show, throwing soil on Byron Nelson and Sam Snead's grave.
Sure.
There's already a weird comparison. We talk about Tiger's 82 wins versus Sam Snead's 82 wins. Like, it's never going to be, things change. Like I said, the U.S. Amateur and the British Amateur used to be major championships, and there's already a hierarchy of majors, right? Like a guy who's won I'll choose Zach Johnson as an example. Zach Johnson's won the Masters and won the Open Championship at St. Andrews versus, Justin Thomas has won 2 PGA championships. Like, those things are not necessarily equal.
Right.
So there's already a hierarchy of majors. So I'm not opposed to this in the macro sense, but we can't just wave our hands and say there's a 5th major. Like,
Yes.
something has to actually change, which is you have to invite players who are not on the PGA Tour. You cannot retroactively give up majors, and one of the majors has to go international. Maybe the Open Championship. There were some whispers that maybe the Open Championship, moves. That people aren't going to like that. One of the majors has to then go out. We can't have 4 of the 5 majors.
The U.S.
in United
Open
States.
can't. The Masters can't. So
Yeah.
there's an obvious choice.
Right, the PGA Championship.
I also think like the conversation that has to take place is. Sorry, we can move on from this.
You're over it?
I think we made our point.
I think we made our point as well.